about how to go about the business, how to do the improvement in the personality, how to start a business, how to become rich. All those things people talk about it. They use certain amount of mental technique or some kind of a speech technique what they use across, and they motivate you for some action. The problem with this approach is they have not read about time. Time is a very great influence on the human life. For example, you get up in the morning because of the movement of the sun and the moon. So time plays a very crucial role in people's life. Any technique which you follow has to correspond with the time. Then only you would be able to use the technique successfully in your life across. For example, somebody is doing a business. Now what kind of business he can do, and whether it is okay to do the business at this particular point of time. The point with all these so-called pundits, all the so-called self-help group is they don't take the time into consideration. So there is a huge amount of failure in their endeavors. For example, there is a guy who is starting a business and Saturn is moving into 8th house from the Lagna. He is bound to fail. He is bound to get into all kinds of problem as far as the business is concerned. Now people will say you are talking very negatively about somebody. People will say that you are not being very positive about a lot of things. No, that is not true. The problem is time is such a factor in many part of the life. So time is based on astrology. Astrology can be used as an enhancing tool for growth, for development, for success. Now many people attribute fate and mix it with karma, and they are very confusing. If astrology is practiced in a tamasic manner, then you can only tell that astrology is a prediction. Nothing can be changed. What is pre-written cannot be rewritten. In the rajasic form of astrology, we use remedies to clear the problem, to make people come out of the difficulties into their life. Maybe they are stuck up, they are not married, they don't have kids, a variety of area where they have an energy block. So learn to look astrology as a chakra block, as an aura block, as a block in the energy field of your life. Then you will be able to understand. The sathwic form of astrology is you tell people that they are having an energy block. We are using to read the horoscope, the energy, and we try to clear the block which will help them to grow. For example, Saturn Ketu is there, the basic chakra will be shrunk. So when you do the remedial measure for Rahu Ketu, the basic chakra will expand a lot and the person will be able to manifest a lot of things in life very easily. For example, if a person is getting very angry, the solar plex chakra would be very overactive. So you do the remedies for Mars or Moon, which will help you to subside down the chakra or make the chakra small, which will help them to have a better control over their emotion across. So please understand that astrology is a way of reading the energy, is the way of reading the subtle blocks, that is the energy blocks into the life which gets reflected in the form. For example, somebody's second house is afflicted, their speech will be having a problem, so their way of manifesting money will have a problem. So in astrology it is called as the Dhanasthana. So please understand, astrology can be practiced as rajasic, tamasic, sathwic. What we are promoting as a form of astrology is the sathwic astrology, where we help people, the soul to evolve, the personality to solve the problem, to clear their blocks in the karma level and in the lineage level, to help them with the events of their life across. Now, for example, all these so-called pundits and all those so-called the self-help group cannot help you if you have a marriage problem, cannot help you when you are not able to conceive. They can talk about motivating and all that thing, but please understand, knowledge, talking, speech has a lot of limitation. So that technique was not followed by the great rishis across. So this land belongs to the rishis. So the rishis invented an energy technique which is aligned with the time, which will clear the various blocks in the people's life across, and the person will have a better time across into their life. For example, there was a guy who came across to me and who had a lot of planet in the 6, 8 of the horoscope, and he was all the time playing the video game. He was not listening to the parents. He was not completing his degree. There was a lot of issues in his life across. Now what happened was, they came and they asked, what is the future of this guy? Is he going to become okay? Saturn was in Meena, so I suggested the 10th house Guru Puja plus Rahu Ketu Puja was done across. We did 90 days of puja. The person's mind completely changed. He realized that he was making a big mistake. He gave up his video game. He applied for the various jobs. He got a job in Zoho, and he attended 4-5 interviews, and the final call letter is yet to come across. But basically, there was a huge problem of what he was going to do. He got fascinated with the video games and he wanted to make money because of the video games, and he wanted to become very, very successful. It is an uncharted territory which had a lot of problem, and the money was not coming according to the expectation of him across. Because when you play video game, who is going to pay you for seeing the video game? In cricket, people play because it is around 500 years of tradition across. So please understand, this kind of career blocks can be really, really solved with this particular area into our life across. So please understand, for example, there was a guy who got into a corporate warfare. They chucked him out and he wanted to file a case. So we helped him with the filing of the case by aligning with the Chatru Samara Homam and Puja, and he started becoming very, very successful. He was able to win over his enemies very, very easily across. So what you cannot do it with speech, what you cannot do it with thinking, you can definitely do it with energy work, you can definitely do it with ritual, Devata Yoga, and with astrology across. So please understand that astrology is a superior form of energy work, superior form of science, which has been forgotten by a lot of people, and people have not evolved to understand the astrology. For example, there was a person in Kenya who had 13 floors and he had a lot of problem with the building. We came and we put the thing for the building, and the energy got cleared and the entire place was built. Remember, there was no lecture, there was no motivation talk, there was no all great thinking talking about. So what Ravi cannot do, what Kavi cannot do, Ravi will do. What Ravi cannot do, Anubhavi would do. What Anubhavi cannot do, rituals will do. What Anubhavi cannot do, time will do. So please understand in your life across that a lot of people have a blocks with regard to the energy, and the horoscope is nothing but the reflection of the energy block. So whenever you call up for astrology with us, don't talk about prediction, ask about remedies. We can be really, really helpful to you across. Remedies are scientific, but the problem is it is an esoteric science. It is also the energy gets reflected about it. For example, if you change the India's birth timing, the entire destiny of India will change. For example, Sri Lanka is having a problem because Saturn is transiting 6th house from the Lagna. That is why they have a problem. If they were to rework the entire timing by putting a new Muhurta, and if Gobat say where to take the oath at the correct time, then lot more differences will be there. So please understand, astrology can be applied in all level in a very positive manner, in not being fatalistic. So please understand, instead of predicting, we can do remedies based on the energy of your life, which gets reflected in the horoscope, and we can make a huge difference into the way you live your life across. So please understand and use astrology positively, then trying to make it very fatalistic, and don't difference between karma can be resolved. Fate is that which you have to experience. So remember, 99% of the time it is karma, which means it can be resolved, than of fate. So thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe to the channel. If you have any doubts, you can always ask me about it. Thank you.